What's going on, guys, and welcome to today's video. And today we are out in Independence, Kansas doing some half-mile racing. And no, we do not have the Camaro out here. We have the good buddy Griff's 2022 Hellcat Redeye. So it'll be very interesting to see what this thing does in comparison to what we did with the Camaro a few years ago. I'll throw a link down in the description to that video when we had the Camaro out here at this exact same runway. If I recall, the Camaro ended up doing like a 145. Now, it is a manual transmission car and it was pretty cold and I was slipping and sliding and yeah. So it'll be very interesting to see what another 150 horsepower does out here, but this car is a lot heavier. This is 600 pounds heavier than the Camaro, but again, we've got another 150 horsepower. And the thing that's really gonna help this car out is that it is the 8-speed ZF transmission. This thing's just going to bang through the gears and move very quickly. So I'm assuming we're gonna see this car go already faster than my car on its first pass of the day here. But we're gonna hopefully get the camera in the car. We're gonna walk around, look at some of the cool, ridiculous high horsepower stuff, and hopefully have a fun day out here going fast.
You run a pretty good run there. Got out of it on the Vision for sure. 9303 Jeff GTR 156.
All right, guys, so literally right off the trailer, he's already running over 10 mile an hour quicker than what I ran. So that first run was a 156. We were hopeful he'd be in the 150s, and yeah, he already blew that away. He was doing a decent amount of spinning. He is just on a street tire, but a 305 in the rear. So we took pressures down. We started at 28 PSI. We bumped it down to 26 PSI. We'll see if that does anything. We might keep playing with going lower in hopes that that thing will hook. Because if it will hook, it can pick up more mile per hour on the top end. But yeah, already off the rip with a 156, which yeah, it was pretty cool. He was up next to a 1700 horsepower GTR, so it looked very slow in the video, but 156 already doing 11 mile an hour quicker than the old Camaro could handle. All right, guys, so run number 2 there went a little bit slower, went a 153. He had it in track mode that time, and I believe tried to second gear launch instead of just leaving it in auto like we did the first time. So lost 3 miles an hour. I don't really know is that just heat in the engine, heat in the supercharger, or he did say it just spun considerably more. So with track mode, you do have traction control off. So I don't know where the sweet spot, maybe sport mode, that still leaves a little bit of traction in the system. We did have 2 pounds lower in the rear, but he said it didn't really seem to do much difference. Now, one thing we just quickly did was yank some weight out of the car. Let me show you what we pulled. So this was optioned with the hardened carbon sound system, and with one 10mm bolt you can have the whole sub assembly out. We've got the spare tire inflator, the load floor there for the trunk, and then we pulled various floor mats, paperwork, what have you, out of glove box and floor. So we've quickly dumped a little bit of weight out of this thing. We stripped the trunk down to a battery being left in here. So that's a little bit of weight. Now it is weight removed off the back tires, which we kind of need traction, but hopefully a little bit of weight will do something for us here. I think we're gonna let the car chill for just a little bit with the hood up to see if we can't drop supercharger temperatures just a little bit, and then hopefully maybe do something a little bit different with speed, since we did pull some weight. No idea what all that weighs, probably not that much, but still, every pound has to help. Come on, car.
This is going to be close. This thing's still going to go around the outside, not that fast. But mile an hour, I bet it's going to be real close. Coming up here. Still the 153.1, zero for the 151.2. Told you that was going to be.
All right, guys, so the third run only went 151. So we are consistently going slower here. We went 156, 153, 151. So we are going the wrong way here, but I mean, it is getting warmer as the day is going on. But first run, he left it in just auto, drive mode, auto, just left it in drive and went the quickest we've went. The next run, he put it in track mode and spun a whole bunch. Obviously, traction control gets turned off. And then the third run, put it in sport mode and used launch control and spun a whole bunch. So I think we're going to run this run here in just auto drive mode and just let the car do its thing. We did air the rear tires down to the lowest we've ran so far at 24 PSI. So I don't know at what point you are still gaining if you are airing down your street tires, but we'll see. So 24 PSI here, and I think he's going to leave it in auto, and this race should be pretty interesting because he's going to be running an identical color super stock, which is a wide body Redeye Challenger. So should be really darn close. He is obviously on factory drag radials and Griff is out running on street tires. So Griff has been running a few mile an hour quicker the whole day than this other car. So should be good. Hopefully we get some traction and move quickly. It is warm though, so who knows? All right, guys, so as you guys just saw on that run, ran against a identical, basically wide body super stock, and they ran like 7 or 8 tenths of a mile an hour difference. So, and as the day's going on, we're just getting slower and slower and slower. I assume it's just heat related. Big hot Hellcat motor under the hood, just heat soaking. You're just kind of continuing to diminish. Even with the chiller on this thing, it's just going slower. He is just massively spinning like crazy. We went ahead and went from 25 PSI all the way down to 20 PSI. I think I'm gonna ride with him on this one, so we'll see if anything changes here.
That was a better.
Well, guys, I think we ended up making our quickest run of the day. Unfortunately, the first run off the trailer at 156. We then were slowly getting slower. We finally ended up dropping tire pressures down to 20 PSI on these 305 Pirelli street tires and slowly picked back up speed. I jumped in with him and we picked up a few tenths of a mile per hour and then finally jumped out and he ended up running a few mile per hour quicker, right back up to the 150 area. So never ended up getting back up past that. Again, I think due to the hot, humid weather now, the sun came out, the clouds moved away, and we ended up getting rather hot and humid out here versus this morning, which it was relatively cool. And, you know, just the long wait times. You're pulling up there, you are sitting there idling, pulling forward like you do at a drag strip, and just heat soaking the poor engine bay. Now, this does have the chiller option, and we had that on, but still, you're just working with really hot ambient temps, a bunch of cars staging ready to go forward. So I don't know, super interesting being able to see what this thing did. Bone stock. There was, like we talked about, another basically identical car in wide body. It was a super stock, so it even had factory drag radials on the thing. And yeah, this thing on street tires was able to be quicker than it the whole day. So again, I'm not saying a super stock's bad, but it was just cool. The old narrow body on street tires being able to put down really good times or speed and yeah, go a little bit quicker than a super stock on drag radials. But it's all fun out here. It's again, just for mile an hour. And it's been cool to see some really fast 200 plus mile an hour cars. I tried to get a few clips of the fast stuff or some of the fast stuff running. I'll probably throw here at the end of the video. But I think that is all we're going to be able to do today out here. But again, always a fun event getting out here and watching ridiculous fast cars. I've taken a few pictures too. I'll probably just throw again at the end of this video of some of the ridiculous, crazy twin turbo stuff that is running around out here. So guys, thanks for coming out here to the half-mile racing event with Shift Sector out at the Independence, Kansas Municipal Airport. And guys, thank you so much for watching, and we'll catch you guys next time.
Definitely was in it through the trap, mile an hour coming up. Off to a good start. Looks like he's definitely in the power. Can't tell if it was a real fast pass or not. It's hard to tell from my vantage point. Mile an hour coming up. In this Huracan, both of them look like they're at relatively good passes. Mile an hour